Yeah, I'm Jamie. I'm a mechanic, and my background isn't really like churchy or relationship or anything like that. I didn't really grow up in like a church background or anything like that. But my journey kind of started when I was 13, but I didn't really know what was going on. These guys come over from America, and to me that was new. As in, like, the furthest person I met away was like Belfast. It wasn't really like American. So when we were told about these Americans coming over, we just had to go see them. And they were called the Royal Servants. So me and my two wee brothers went up, and we just spent the summer with them. So we did, and they just invited us into a relationship with God. But at that age, at 13, I didn't really know kind of what was going on or what it was really about or what I was really saying yes to. But then 2 months later, my youngest brother as well passed away. So I was kind of like, there couldn't be a God. I mean, we just gave our lives to you, and all of a sudden now my wee brother's just taken away. So I kind of went no, and kind of just went, I don't believe. I just went out, and I went into self-destruct mode because of what happened. I didn't really process, what happened with my wee brother and that type of thing. But then I went out, and I was into partying and all that, and everything came with that. But through the self-destruct, I got really angry, and I was fighting almost every single weekend with people, and just lashing out at people, and trying to hide that pain. And then he kind of just started playing with my heart a wee bit, but I didn't really realise it until, now what was going on. Like, I kind of found myself set in my own circumstances, and like, you know what, I wouldn't mind becoming a Christian again when I'm 30, and setting my terms. I met this girl, and just her story started kind of breaking my heart, and I realised now that was God softening my heart from where I was going. One day she messaged me just saying that she wasn't feeling great, and I was just trying to be myself, making her laugh. And I heard like this audible voice just like ask her to church, and I thought, what the heck was that? I kind of thought I was going like crazy. So I turned to them guys in work, and I asked them, did you boys say anything there? And they're like, no, we didn't open our mouths. And I was like, hang on a minute, like, so you didn't speak to me, did you speak to each other? And they were like, no, we didn't. So I was like, what is going on? So I messaged my mum then, like, she's a Christian, and I just said, look, I heard this audible voice, and it was ask her to church, as simple as that. And she goes, that's more than likely God, just don't ignore that. So I was like, that's okay, that's fine. So then I messaged the girl and asked her, look, do you want to go to church? And she says, yeah, but just not now. And I was like, that's totally fine. So I didn't really push it, and like, I didn't know what was going on at that point. So then, I think it was about 3 weeks later, it was my birthday, but there's only like two things I remember about that night. And one was just crying, like just bursting into tears in the middle of the dance floor in the Anchor, and like just uncontrollable crying, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. So I ran outside and sat outside the chippy out there and just had my hands on my head just crying out, and just like, I don't know what's going on with me. And this was in front of everybody, I mean the crowds and everything. They probably thought I was going mad. And my friend came up to me, and we just did a conversation, and he just goes like, he had a wee cross necklace on at the point, and he goes, what's that? And he pointed at it, and I was just like, look, leave me alone, I'm not in the mood for this here, but it's just my necklace, leave me alone. And he flicked it, and he goes, no, that's what it's all about from now on. Then about 2 weeks after that, I just felt the need, do you want to go to church, to this girl? And I asked her, and she's, yeah, we'll go. And after that, we arrived in church, and this is the first time that I ever stepped foot inside this building, so it was. And it was just after worship, Tori stepped on stage and just says, I feel as if there's people in here dealing with stuff. And it just kind of hit like her story and my story on the head. And I was like, okay, wow, you had my attention, And it was just the night before that, I was praying. I didn't really know what I was saying. I was like, God, I don't know what you're up to, like, or what's going on or anything like that, but I feel as if you've asked me to ask this person to church for a reason, so, just do what you're going to do. But yeah, it's just, as I say, it's been like a real up and down journey for me. But just knowing that His grace covers that, them 15 years that I was doing my own thing. And if you were to narrow it down, it's like, I would never have thought like God would have spoke to me outside of church at all, if He spoke at all. But also like the fact of in work, in the middle of my busyness, and then also in a nightclub, I would never, I would have turned around and said, no, I can't see that happening, But now when I look back on it, it's like His love never like you can't limit where and when he'll speak to you. So yeah.